Hello everyone, this is Ashwin here. So we are continuing with the Google 4-bar challenge. I already solved one problem in the third level, but I didn't make a video because it is too complex and it is related to Markov chains. So it will take a longer time, so that's why I just skipped that problem. So the problem name is find the access codes. So we will go to the directory and read the question. Okay, this is the question. In order to destroy Commander's Lambda's Lambchop Doomsday device, you will need to access to it. But the only door leading to Lambchop chamber is secured with a unique lock system whose number of passcodes changes daily. Commander Lambda gets a report every day that includes the logs, access codes, but only the commander knows how to figure out which of several lists contains the access codes. You need to find a way to determine which list contains the access codes once you are ready to go in. Fortunately, that you are Commander's Lambda's personal assistant, Lambda has confided to you that all the access codes are lucky triples in order to make it easier to find them in the list. A lucky triple is a tuple x, y, z where x divides y and y divides z, such as 1, 2, 4. So here if I consider x and this is as y means if you take 2 modulus 1 is 0, and again here if you take 4 modulus 2, that is also 0. So it should satisfy this condition. With that information you can figure out which list contains the number of access codes that matches the number of locks on the door when you are ready to go in. For example, if there are 5 passcodes, you need to find a list with 5 lucky triples access codes. Write a function solution L that takes a list of positive integers L and count the number of lucky triples, that is Li, Lg and Lk, where the list indices meet the requirements, that is I less than j and less than k. The length of L is between 2 and 2000, that is both are inclusive. The elements of L are between 1 and this big of a number. This is also inclusive. So this element range is not big of a problem for us. The solution fits within a signed 32-bit integer. Some of the lists are purposely generated without any access code to throw off spices. So no triples are found, return 0. So essentially we have to just return the count. So if there are no triples means we will just return 0. So here for our example we have a list of 1 to 6 and we can able to find the triples like 1 to 4, 1 to 6, 136. So the total is 3. We will return 3 in the end, because if you consider these two means 6 mod 2 is 0, and here also in this list 6 mod 3 is 0. Essentially it should satisfy this condition, x divides y and y divides z. So we are going to use modulus to check whether it is divisible or not. And we have Python cases, these are all the same. And here also if you consider all of them are 1 means we will be having one triple, that is this 3 ones. So I think we got our problem. So there is a brute force solution for us. So we will optimize it further. Essentially what you will be doing is you will be going for a 3 for loop and find all the triples and try to divide that. It will fail one test case when I tried it, and after that I gone for some optimization. So essentially we have to store some values in order of n square. First let's find the length. So length of L and initialize count equals 0. So this is the count we are going to calculate. Now we will go for that optimization. So I'm going to find the number of pairs based on the index. So pairs equals, it will be initialized with 0 and multiplies by n. So I'm just creating a list of zeros with the length of n. Now we have to find a pair for that x and y. So I will just name the variables accordingly so you can able to easily understand. For y in range of 1 comma n minus 1. So why I am using 1 comma n minus 1, as you can able to see in the condition they have mentioned I should be less than j and j should be less than k. So this represents the indices, and here if you consider x, y, z, so if you consider y, essentially at least one number we have to given for the x, and also for z we have to given one number. That's why it's starting from 1 and it's just ending before the last element. So that is y, and we are going to go for x. So for x we have to traverse up to y. So for x in range of y, so y will change based on the outer loop. Now we will check for the condition if L of y modulus x modulus L of x equals 0. So this is the condition, right? Y modulus x is equals 0, or y should be divisible by x. So that's the condition. If it is satisfying means we will increment y by 1. So that will be pairs of y plus equals 1. It means at this particular index we already have a pair. Based on this we are going to find the next pair. So to find the next pair, so this is for finding first pair x and y. Now we are going to find the second pair, finding second pair y and z, and increment count. That is our objective. So similarly I'm going to use the same logic. So for z in range of, so in the range, as I already said, we have to have at least two numbers, that is one for x and another one for y. So for these two numbers I am going to say 2. So I left out two numbers to the left, and it will go up to n because this is represents the z value, and we are going to do it for the y. So for y in range of, so for y we already left out one variable for x, so that will be 1. And now for the range, before we have said it like n minus 1, but here it is in the inside loop, so we will be traverse until z. So z. So if you see it, the format is essentially somewhat different what we usually do. Usually if you consider other matrix traversal means we'll be having y on the outside and z on the inside. So this is for the optimization purpose. I am going to do it in this way, and now we have to check for the condition if, as I already said, L of z modulus L of y, that means z, y divides z, that's the condition here, equals 0. If it satisfies the condition, we already have a pair. We have to check whether we already have a pair at this y index. So if we have the pair means count plus equals pairs of y. So it will keep on calculating the count. So finally we will return the count. Return count. So this is the whole logic of this problem. So let's trace it for one example. So I will trace this example. So for that I will just copy this list. Okay, yes, it is copied. Now for this example I am going to create pairs. of I am going to initialize with 0. Okay, I am just placing dot comma 0 comma. So this is the pairs list we have initialized here. So what I'm going to do is, in the first iteration, I will just copy and paste this. It will be useful for us. So this is for the first part. So we will be iterating this loop, right? So we will be iterating from index 1 and it will iterate until this one. So if you consider this, we will be having a pair 1 comma 2. So I will just increment this by 1. And even if you consider 1 comma 3, it is also 1. And for 2 comma 3, it's not divisible. So we will just move on to 4. So for 4, it is dividing by 1. So this will be 1. And again, if you consider for 4, 2 is divisible. So this will become 2. And for 5, obviously 1 will be divisible. So it will be 1. And not other numbers are divisible to 5. So for 6, 1 will be divisible, 2 will be divisible, and 3 will be divisible. So total it's 3. So in total it's 3. So this is the pairs we have got after doing this first iteration. So we have done the pre-processing and increment the pairs. Based on that, we will do the second part. So in the second part, we will be having that count. Initially it will be 0. So I will just keep on updating based on the values. So again, I am going to iterate to 2 to n. So that will be here to here. This is the z, and for y it will traverse until the z. So it will traverse this and this. So for 2 and 3, it's not divisible. For 2 and 4, it is divisible. So it will consider the value at 2. So it will be 1. So count will be 1. Now again, it will go for 5, and 5 it's not divisible at all. And for 6, if you can able to see, it is divisible by 2 once. So it will increment by 2. And again for 6, 3 is also divisible and the value is 1, and we will increment it by 3. So the final answer is 3 for this input. So here you can able to see, right? For this example, we have 3 triples. So this is how the logic works. So if you dig deep and try out trace the problem further using some variables like this is x and this is y, you can able to figure out much more better if it's difficult for you. So Google problem will always be like this. You have to do some kind of optimization in order to pass all the test cases. Let's save this. Let's verify the solution now. Verify solution. Hope I didn't do any mistakes. Yes, it passed all the test cases. Now let us submit this. So submit solution and this. Yes, I want to submit. Okay. Okay, I think I have completed level 3. Sorry, I thought it was level 3. I already completed level 3. I didn't notice the progress bar. Now I am on level 4. So I can able to go for the new challenge. So that's it, guys. So we have successfully submitted the solution and it is accepted. We have to see the rest of the problems in the upcoming videos if it is easy to explain. And if you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe the channel for future videos. See you guys in the next video.